May 25th, 2024. I got myself a senior's GPS. Not only does it tell me how to get to my destination, it tells me why I want to get there.
It's important.
Love your
Oh.
scenery.
A group of 40-year-old girlfriends discuss where they should meet for dinner. Finally, it was agreed that they should meet at the Ocean View restaurant because the waitress there has tight pants and a nice bum. 10 years later, at the age of 50, the group once again discussed where they should meet for dinner. Finally, they agreed that they should meet at the Ocean View restaurant because the food there was very good and the wine selection was also very good. 10 years later, at the age of 60, the group once again discussed where they should have dinner. Finally, it was agreed that they would meet at guess where? The Ocean View restaurant, because they can eat there in peace and quiet. And the restaurant has a beautiful view of the ocean. 10 years later, at the age of 70, the group once again discussed where they would meet for dinner. Finally, it was agreed, yes, you got it, the Ocean View restaurant, because the restaurant was wheelchair accessible and they even had an elevator. 10 years later, at the age of 80, the group once again discussed where they would meet for dinner. Finally, they agreed on the Ocean View restaurant because they had never been there before.
Oh, God.
Okay, enough on the memory jokes. Today we're going to talk about tips and tricks, and I have a bunch here, and if you have some that you would share with us, we would appreciate it. But they're on the iPad. We're switching today to the iPad. So I'm going to flip my screen so you can see. Everybody see my iPad?
Yes.
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 Yes. And I'm going to mute everybody. Okay. First tip is your picture ID. There is a way that you can add your name and your picture to your phone, to your iPad, so that when you're using particular applications, your name and picture are associated with it. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure you have your name on your iPad or for your iPad. And to do that, we're going to go to where'd you guessed it? Settings. General. And once you've clicked General, there's a line that says About. And when you click About, the top line of the About menu under General says Name, and there's mine. It says Bill's iPad Pro. Now, if yours doesn't say, yours should not say Bill's iPad Pro. It may say iPad or iPad 12 or something like that. All we should do there is we should at least put your name at the beginning of whatever else might be there. And to do that, you hit the arrow, you tap the arrow, and now you can edit this particular line. Your keyboard should show up. And you can backspace over that. And you can type in mhm. And then just click about and you should have it, your name. Now to get your picture in there, it's a little more interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to go back, click the back arrow on general, and we're going to scroll up in settings. To where your name is at the top. And it says William Crow there. Yours should, hopefully yours doesn't say William Crow, but it should have your name there at the top. You click your name and it should come up like this, where you have a little circle that has your initials in it. No matter what's there, if you click and hold that circle, it should come up like this. And here's where you can change the icon that appears, for example, when you're doing a airdrop, it would have a picture with it. And mine right now would just say WC. Now I could go to the pictures that I have and add that. I could come down here and pick a Memoji. I could pick any one of these emoticons down here to be what I would like to have show up. I'm going to be kind of traditional and I'm going to click photos, selfie, and I'm going to pick a selfie. I'll pick this one. Okay. And I kind of move it and center it a little bit. Okay. And I can say choose. Okay. And then I could actually change the lighting, etc., to make it a little different. And just click on done. Now, if you didn't like that one, you could click the X and take a picture, add an emoji. You could scribble. There's a lot of different features you can do here. That's the easiest one to do. And then click done. And now you've added your photo.
Bill, I lost a place. I didn't get what you got. I'm in you're on your iPad, right? Not phone.
Correct.
Okay, that's where I lost you. Well, I got my iPad out and I got to settings and I've got the iPad up there, but I lost you. What do you do next?
Tap your name at the top after you're in settings.
The name is there.
Here,
Well, when I'm in, I've got the about is up and I've got the it says Ann Ross iPad 2, and then all of
No,
the
you're not
board
going
came up.
to, no, you went to general and about. I don't want you to go there. I want you to go back to settings. So on the left side, it says settings,
Correct?
and scroll to the top of the screen and tap your name.
Oh, thank you. I was so lost.
And then you press and hold the icon, circular icon that's there. Oh, come on. And it comes up like this. Now, Anne, you probably should choose the owl here, you know? Right?
I actually have a picture in there.
Okay, if you have a picture there, you're good. Okay. So if you have a picture of yourself in there, you're in good shape.
Thank you. I was so lost. I couldn't figure out where you were.
Okay. All right. There's one, it's called the app library. It's a tip, and I think most of you know how to get to the app library. It's a great place to go if you can't find the app you want. You would shift from right to left and right to left and right to left till you get a screen that looks like this one. The icons that are in there are going to be different than the ones I have. And if you want to see your applications that are on your device, you click on App Library, and here they are in alphabetic order. You don't even need to go through the alphabetic order. You can just say, I want, let's see, I want something that's down the list of ways. Uh, photo, Photo. And up pops the various apps that I have that are related to photos. Now you're saying to yourself, well, that was nice, but I don't want to have to go here all the time. How can I put one of these on my home screen? So let's go down here to Photo Booth. And if I press my finger on Photo Booth, I can drag it. And I'm putting it on a blank home screen right now. You'll see down here at the bottom. Oops, let me go back. You'll see down at the bottom which home screen I'm on. Right now I'm on the third one. And if I move, I still have holding my finger on that application. And if I move it to the edge here, it will take me back to the first home screen. And I just drop it there. Now, if I really don't want it, I can press the minus sign, and I can either remove the app entirely from my device or just keep it in the app library. And that's remove it from your home screen. Okay. Tip number 2. Okay. Any questions on that one?
Well, if you go to search and app library, what does the app library icon look like?
It doesn't have one.
Oh,
You can't go to search and get to the app library. You have to go through it by shifting from right to left. till
Oh,
you
it's
get to the final screen.
at the top. Okay, thank you.
Now, Kathleen just mentioned another one. She says, well, why can't I use Spotlight Search? You could say that. That's another way you can search for an app. If you put your finger here in the middle of the screen and pull it down, you get this search come up. And if you tap in or type in what you're after, I'll type in photo. Go. And it shows me all those apps that have photo in their name, but it shows you much more than that as well. Let me do that again. Photo. I can go to my photos. It shows me files that have pictures in them. There's some apps, settings that have the word photos in them. Okay. So you Spotlight Search is a very powerful tool that we all should be using when we're looking for something on our iPad. One of the cool ones I like is if I type in BILL, I'm not going to go to Bill Crow. I'm just going to go to Bill. Oops. And there's Bill Kelleher and Bill Crow. And so anybody I have in my mail contacts, it comes up with their names. There's some email from Bill. I send email to myself. Diane Stewart there sent me a email. It says, "Hi, Bill." Yeah, my bill of sale. That's an app I have. Pictures of me, of Bill, right?
Now, where was the spotlight search?
If you if you put your finger in the middle of the screen and pull down, that's Spotlight Search.
Oh, thank you.
Mary Ann, I put my finger in the middle of the screen and it causes my things to jiggle.
That's
I don't
because you
think-
held, I understand. I'll do it. If I put my finger here and I press on it, all
Yeah,
of a sudden they start jiggling.
right.
Now I'm going to tap the screen. You have to put it there and pull down immediately. Don't hold it
Oh,
there for any
okay.
period.
I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. The
How can,
next thing I
how,
wanted to go ahead.
how can you tell you're in spotlight rather than in regular search?
Regular search. What is regular search?
Just plain search,
Pardon me?
just plain search.
I said, where is that? Are you on the internet and doing a Google search?
No, that's okay. I'm gonna pause my question because I think I figured out what I did wrong. So thank you.
Okay. All right. I want to switch gears. It all of us should have this little light bulb.
What's it
Okay, it's
called?
called Apple Tips. If you don't have that, why don't you see if you have it by going to the app library and type in tips. And if it doesn't show up, it's an orange icon with a light bulb in it. If you don't have it, you need to go to the Apple store and get it. And if you go to the App Store, let me go to the App Store here. Where's the App Store? Well, I'll just type in a app since I'm in the library. There's the App Store. I open that up. I go to search. And I type in tips. Okay. And there it should be. Then you download it. Now, if it says open, that means you have it somewhere on your device. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And hopefully everybody's there looking at the top of the list. It says suggested. Well, first of all, it says setup checklist. And it says add recovery.
It doesn't say that on the phone.
Pardon me?
It does not say that on the iPhone.
I'm on the iPad. Stay on the iPad, Ann.
Okay.
I'll do the iPhone next week. Okay. Add recovery contact. What the heck is that? Get help if you forget your Apple ID password. You mean there's a way that I can have somebody know or entrusted with that information? I choose someone you trust. Go to settings, your name, sign in security and account recovery. So that if you forgot your password for Apple, you can go to a particular location and call up that person and they'll be able to help you. So if I wanted to add one, well, they even provide a link to it here, but I'll do it the other way. It says settings, your name at the top, sign in security, and account recovery. So let me do that. I don't want to be in tips. I want to get out of there. Okay.
How did you get out of there? You
Pardon
went,
me?
how did you get out of there? I'm on tips.
We're going to go back to the home screen. Put your finger on the bottom and pull up. And you should be back to one of your home screens and you have settings. So I'm going to go to settings, click my name at the top. Gee, I was just there, right? And it says sign in and security. If you tap your name at the top of the settings menu, you get Apple ID. Sign in security. And it's called account recovery. And it says set up. Now I'm going to click that, but I'm not going to complete it. So if you forget your password, especially if you forget your device passcode, if you forget your device passcode, your device is useless. I think I told you the story. I got an iPad Pro with a Magic keyboard on it. Must have been a year or two old. It was really a nice system. And I didn't have the passcode for it. And we have a big recycle bin at the refurb shop, and that's where it went. Apple will not even give you the passcode or help you get the passcode unless you can prove you own it, like a bill of sale. So that 4 or 6 digit code that you use to unlock your device is critical. So there's a way you can let other people, another person know what it is and have them help you. It says set up. You click the setup and it says add a recovery person. If you lose access to your account, a recovery method can help you get your account and data back. Your device passcode can be used to recover end-to-end encrypted data. If you forget your passcode, you'll need a recovery contact or recovery key. I think it says a recovery contact can generate a code from their Apple device to help you get back. Now, I'm just telling you this. I don't know how many people want to do it, but here's where you would go to set it up and get it working.
Well, Bill, who would want to do that for you?
Say again, please.
Who would want to do that for somebody else?
If you want to do it for somebody else, have them put their name in there, your name in where it's going to say add a recovery contact on their device.
You might want a son or daughter that can help you if you get stuck.
There you go.
Okay.
So Bill, you're talking about the code that we just turn our machine on with, not our Apple password, right?
Both. I'm talking both.
So you're gonna give this contact both your Apple password as well as how they put in the
Yes, they'll
numbers?
get you
Face
access to
ID.
that. You
Okay.
can change your Apple password if you know your Apple passcode. And I'll show you that. Okay. So the key one is, of course, the passcode, but they'll get they'll have access to the password as well. If I click the back arrow here, it says change. Well, let me start all over. I'm in settings. So I got settings in the left-hand menu there. And I have my name at the top of the screen over on the right. It says sign in and security. I click that, and here it says change password. That's your Apple ID password. If you click there, it wants the passcode. And then you can put in a new password. So if ever with this one, you're going to write down so you don't forget it. In fact, I have the name of a local tattoo parlor that can put it on your wrist for you. Okay? That's
Bill,
a joke, everybody. That's a joke.
it's a very funny joke, but I got lost again. Can you go back to,
Sure.
I'm in two-factor authentication after I hit my name in settings.
Hit your name, and then you have this in the right-hand menu. Is that correct?
Yes,
You're on your iPad.
yes.
You tap your name at the top in settings, and it comes up and says add ID. Apple ID. Help me, Ann, or is that where you are?
Well, I've got something that we had before, which is, although, no, it's not. I
Click the
have
back, click the back arrow up here on the top left.
I canceled it. Okay. Now I'm in, now I am where you are on the screen,
Good. Sign in and security.
right?
And it should come up and say change password.
Yes.
Now don't do it. Unless you want to change it, or if you forgot it, here's where you would change it.
And mine says two-factor authentication.
Above it, it says change password, doesn't it?
Yes.
Just make sure two-factor authentication, excuse me, authentication, I have mine on. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Change password, and it comes up and said put it in twice, and that will change it for all your Apple devices. If you go to the Apple Store, it will ask you for that password frequently.
And you can't forget your Apple password, but if you do,
Here's where you would go to change it.
how do you find it if you don't want to change it?
Don't do anything. Don't change it.
Bill, on that screen, I have another line that I can click that's not on your screen. I have an older iPad mini, and it has a line that says get verification code. And under that, I can click that. Under that, it says get a verification code to sign in on another device or at iCloud.com. Can you tell me more about that?
It's under two-factor authentication.
Yes, it is. The screen looks a little different from yours, but the same options are there. I can change my password, I can sign in with Apple, I can do an account recovery, and I can get a verification code.
Do me a favor, scroll down on the left-hand column to General,
Hmm.
and click About.
So I have to go back.
We shouldn't
Oh,
have to
right.
go back. If
I
you
don't
have,
have to go
if you have
back, you're right. No,
iPad,
I don't have to go back, right, okay.
if you have your iPad in
Okay. General, okay, I'm in general.
landscape, set your iPad on landscape so you have this kind of screen.
I do, yes,
So I click General,
yes.
and over here it should say iPad OS version.
Yes, yes, I
What's-
realize mine is an older version. It's a 15.8.2, which is as high as I can get. It's currently as high as it goes.
That's why we have a different menu there.
Right,
Okay, so if we go back to William Crow,
hmm,
back to your name at the top,
yes,
and then to sign in and security,
hmm,
and you have that extra line here.
right. And
And
you
you do
don't.
have
I do have two-factor yes,
you have two-factor authentication.
I do.
Just to explain it to everybody, two-factor authentication is an additional security feature. When you have two-factor authentication on, right, it's going to call a phone number, it's going to send an email or a message to that phone number when you try to do this particular thing. So I enter I want to change the password and I need to have, well, I'm sorry. When I have to enter the Apple ID and password somewhere, in addition to me entering the password, it's going to send us, I think it's a 6-digit code to my phone that I have to enter in order to complete what I'm doing.
And below that, you have a get verification code, which is what I was talking about.
Get a verification code to sign in on another device or the iCloud. I have not used that. Have you tried it?
Well, I clicked on it and it tells me a little more information, but nothing that I want to click on.
What gives you a code?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And that's the code you would have to use if you wanted to get into the iCloud, for example.
Yeah, but okay. Just from the outside getting into from another device. I could get into
Yes.
my account.
You're on your computer, my PC. I'm on my PC. I go to iCloud.com. I type in my Apple ID and password and it says you need the verification code. I could go
Okay.
here and generate it and it would
Okay.
show up on my device.
Okay, thank you. I'm just
Okay.
waiting for the new iteration of the mini pads to come out, theoretically in the
Gotcha.
fall.
I got you. That mini is wonderful tool, wonderful tool.
It's great to travel with.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to head back to my home screen. I'm going to go to tips.
Bill, I have a related question.
Go ahead.
I had a note, I have a note that's locked, and I've been using Face ID. And for some reason, the Face ID stopped working and it wants a password. And it's not recognizing the password that I thought I had for it. And I don't know how to get into it now.
Uh-oh.
I mean, because you know, and I don't know why the Face ID stopped working. Any thoughts? Any suggestions? That's where I had all my passwords stored.
I understand. So you can't get into your passwords because it requires to unlock the note. I have that same situation. If you go to settings,
Yeah.
the question is, I've added the capability to lock a note, and that could be a tip. You can lock notes. And to do that, you have to go to settings. I got to find notes here. Where are you? Settings, notes, and password. And you can use your current passcode that you have to unlock your iPad, and you can use Face ID. And I assume you've tried the Face ID multiple times,
Yes,
Diane?
yes,
Diane, did you try Face ID multiple times?
yes, I did.
It didn't take it, huh? And how is yours set up here? Does it use your device passcode or a custom password?
It's under notes. Let me see how it's set up. Hold on a second. Oh, you're in settings. Hold on a second. I'll go into settings.
For the rest of you, if you want to set up a note that's locked, you go to settings and notes. And you see where it says password down there? You tap that. And you can make a custom password or use the passcode that you use to unlock your device. That's the one I've chosen.
The way I have it set up, Bill, is I have you on my iPad, I have used Touch ID, and on my phone, I have Face ID.
Understood, but what do you have above that?
That's
Choose a password method.
underneath that, I have change password, and underneath that, I have reset password.
Oh, are you on your phone or your iPad?
My iPad. I'll tell you on my phone. My phone is more up to date.
Don't go to your phone. I want to stay on the iPad.
Oh, well, that's my
You go
iPad.
into notes and it says password there.
When I go into notes,
And it says password, right?
Hello.
when I
notes?
go into notes, hold on. Yeah, it says password. Yeah,
You tap that arrow
yes.
and what's it say?
Well, mine is on 15 point something. I have an old iPad Air too. So it says the top thing is use Touch ID. And underneath that, it says change password. And underneath that, that's in blue. And underneath that in red, it says reset password.
So your iPad requires a touch ID.
Yes, because it's too old for Face ID.
I
Face.
understand, but does it work? If you go
No.
to that note,
No,
can you use ID to get to it?
no, it's asking for a password.
The touch ID doesn't work?
No, it's asking for a password.
Say again, please.
It's asking for a password. Can you hear me, Phil? It's asking for a password.
Hear you.
Yeah.
Because the touch ID hasn't been set up, or
No, it was. It had been working. But I suspect with one of the updates, it got screwed up.
no, on your iPad, it requires a touch on the home button.
That's the way I have it set up in settings, but it's not working anymore. When it stopped working on my iPhone, when the face recognition stopped working, the Touch ID stopped working.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, right. Well, it's all controlled by iCloud, probably.
I have the same problem. I mean, it's not a problem, but I have used Touch ID on my, and I haven't tried it, but are you saying it doesn't work anymore on iPads?
Well,
You-
no, not in general. I'm talking about my lock note. My Touch ID works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't on other things.
So my experience with Touch ID, I was never able to make it work on my iPad. And it's because my fingerprints don't scan. When I've had fingerprints done for my volunteer job, they never scan, even though they've done them multiple times over 10 years. So they do some other way of showing I'm not such a bad person and I can work with this volunteer group. But, so, some of us just don't have good scannable fingerprints. It's
And
apparently
there's a lot-
common with people who are artists and nurses, and I've worked in both areas.
And I
And-
agree, and I'm neither, so how do you change use ID to use Face ID? Use Touch ID to use Face ID.
On your device, you cannot do that unless it's a more current device. It's an either or situation. You
Do
either have Face ID or Touch ID. The older devices that have a home button are Touch ID. The newer devices don't have the fingerprint reader. They do facial recognition. Diana, to answer your question, I think you have to reset it there.
Uh-huh. Oh, well, I don't, if I could just reset it, that's no problem. If they don't ask for the old password I used, I'm okay.
Say again, please.
If, if they don't ask for my old password, I'm okay.
They won't ask for the old password for unlocking, for the unlock password,
Oh, good.
right? They will ask for the password for your Apple.
That should be no problem. Okay, enter a password for that. That I know. Yeah, okay, you want me to
Okay.
try it now?
I'm going to move on from that one.
Okay,
I forgot mine at one time too, so I know the problem you're having.
oh, but that's what you did, Bill? You just changed your Apple ID password?
No, you're not going to change that password.
I mean, you just changed your password for the notes.
Correct.
Oh, well, that's easy enough to do. Thanks. That worked? That's all I need to know. Thank you.
I think it does, yes. I haven't had that situation.
Oh, okay, thanks.
There's another feature. I'm going back to tips. So if you go back to the home screen and then tap the light bulb, it'll say add legacy contact. And I'm not going to take you through that. I just want you to be aware that it's there. The idea here is we're all getting older and we're going to pass away at some point. Does somebody who you trust have access to your devices? And you didn't give them your password. Legacy Contact can access and download the data stored in your Apple account. You click on Add a Legacy Contact, and here's the steps that you go through to do it. You've got my face. Okay. So there's a nice straightforward process to go through it. Shows up with my wife. I would click that and go from there. Then it would be next. So you follow the breadcrumbs after you get this far. Okay. I was helping someone set up the capability for others to access your device information because the person had had a significant accident, akin to a stroke. A lot of trouble using his device. Okay, if I go to tips again, So I went back to the home screen and I went to tips. And where I was set up checklist, and I'm going to hit, it says set up your Face ID, your Apple ID, iCloud backup. Have all of you got iCloud backup working? And have all of you got Find My iPad turned on? The way in which you do that, and I'm going to tap it, I just want you to watch my screen for a minute. Okay, it says you tap your name at the top, you tap iCloud, you go through a couple of screens. I'm going to do that again, it was quick. You tap your name at the top, you tap iCloud, and then iCloud backup and make sure it's turned on. Now I'll go through it slowly, and you all should do this. I'm back on my home screen. I tap settings. I tap my name at the top. I'll wait for you to catch up with me. Settings, tap your name at the top. Then tap iCloud. And then scroll down to where it says iCloud backup and just make sure it's turned on. That would be right here. Now we also have the kinds of things that are being saved in the cloud. I have photos, iCloud Drive, iCloud Mail, password and keychains. And if I tap the little arrow here, it shows everything, and I have everything turned on. Now, if you missed that, I'll back up. Right above iCloud Backup, there is a cluster of applications, or let's call them applications. And you want to make sure you're saving all your photos in the iCloud. In addition to that, it says show all down here. And I click that arrow. And you'll notice that I have everything turned on. And here's all my applications, all their data, not the app itself, but any data that that app might generate is being saved in the iCloud. Now I can feel pretty good if I get a new device. If I get a new device, I can recover everything that was on my old device.
But wait a minute. You can do that without having it saved too, Bill, I think.
Say again, please.
When you get a new iPhone, you can have the transfer of the data without having that backup turned on.
That's correct. I'm assuming you lost your phone
Okay.
or you lost your iPad. What Jim is saying is you can just lay them beside each other and it will transfer the information magically. You can see the bits going across the table. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Question, Bill?
Go ahead.
On the, and you've got mail checked off that you're backing it up to the iCloud, but the mail is already on the server of the mail provider, so do you need to do that again on your cloud, and will that duplicate it?
Especially if you don't use iCloud or Apple Mail, you don't need to, no. But I did it. I have it all on. And it's only the iCloud account, Bill, that's doing that.
Oh, okay. I don't use the iCloud account.
I don't either, but that's okay. I turn it on anyway. It's a belt and suspenders thing. The last thing there is find my iPad. If I click on that one, I'm going to do it again. If you open the Find My app, it will show you where your iPad is. And you're saying, what's this thing called Find My? It's an app that looks like this. And I think I've just shown you how you can, if it's not on your home screen, you can get Spotlight Search and type in FIND, and it will show up Find My. If you click on Find My, it will come up and say, here's your iPad, and show you where it is. It actually shows me where my iPad is, my iPhone, my older iPhone, and my Apple Watch. And my ear pods are probably outside of range. What do they say? Outside of case. I would have to plug them in to charge them, I think. Oh, wait a minute.
I like that handsomes. Cute. Handsomes AirPods.
All right. So there's my AirPods as well. All right. I have used this on several occasions to actually locate where my stuff is.
Bill, what does the Find My icon look like? Is that the little green circle?
Let me bring it back again here. Oop. Oop, let me go. I'm circling it now.
There it is.
It's-
Okay, yeah, I got that.
All right.
Bill, Bill, Find My doesn't include your Apple TV device.
I haven't. I don't know. I haven't. I don't. I have an Apple TV. It has not found my Apple TV. No.
And it's searching now, it's not picking it up. I press, plus to add devices, it's not picking it up.
Right. It didn't pick up my Apple TV. I have two of them, and it didn't pick them up either.
It's easy to lose the remote.
Bill, what is that app called?
Find My.
Yeah, Find My Car on there.
There's another app for that.
Oh,
I don't
right.
need that one anymore because they do it automatically on my phone.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
We can talk about that next
found-
week.
I found the app, but it says address unavailable.
So it says Find My. You opened it,
Yes,
and it doesn't come up with a list of your devices.
no, it's showing me North America. It says location, address unavailable.
Do you have location services turned on?
Yeah, let's go check that. Good idea, Bill. If you go to the way in which it knows where you are is that every few minutes, I think it's about every 5 minutes, the current location of your device is sent to the iCloud. So when you go to Find My, it checks the iCloud and gives you the location that was given by the device 5 or less minutes ago.
So mine is not set up, is what you're saying.
Let me get there. So you need to have location services turned on. In order to turn it on, you go to, guess where? Anyone want to guess?
Settings.
Come on. I'm going to go to settings. Okay.
Bill, can I ask you something?
Just let me finish this, please.
Yes,
Bell.
yes, yes.
And then I'm going to go to settings. Oh, privacy and security. It's in the big group that's headed by general. So that group of apps starting at general here, and it goes down to privacy and security. I click that and it says location services. Location services has to be turned on. So Anne, is yours turned on?
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes, it says on. Yes, it's on.
I understand. And when you go to Find My, nothing happens, huh? You sure you're clicking on Find My?
Yes, I am. Now I'm in Australia. It
Say
just said
again?
me and then my location, address unavailable. Where yours says, yeah, right there. Where yours says locate, my location, underneath it, it says location, address unavailable. How do I get that in there?
It should
Oh.
be there.
I know, and it's do I click anything when that is, I've got that same thing that starts with me. And I'm in the me.
Where it says
below.
devices. You
I've
click
got
where it
the-
says devices. At the bottom there, click devices.
Okay, I did. Now
Does it say-
devices tells me where I am.
These are where your devices are.
Correct.
Does it tell you?
It says Anne's iPad.
Okay.
And the
So,
watch and the
on.
phone.
And hopefully it's Bay Village.
It is.
Okay, so it's working. Okay,
It's working for that, but the location, when we were doing the location, it's
well,
not.
this is the location of the devices. This
know.
is the devices. Here's where my wife's devices are. Because she's sharing her location with me.
It's interesting. Mine says my iPhone, no location found. But the iPad devices says this iPad. Apple Watch says Sarasota, Florida. The iPhone says Sarasota, Florida. And underneath that, it says Ann Ross's iPhone, no location found. I'm in devices, yeah.
It could be off. Your phone could be
Delete.
off.
Oh,
Or
got
we'll
it.
talk about let's talk about that one next week.
Okay.
We get to the iPhone.
I do have an answer.
Go ahead, Bill.
Um, when I looked, I actually had 13 devices.
Yep,
And what happened is all the old devices, like my old iPhone and stuff like that, were still listed, but they came up with no location found. So I don't even have some of those devices anymore. So if you had an older device that was Ann's iPhone, that could be why you have no location. Or if the thing is turned off, or if the battery is dead, it also will come up with no location.
Also, click on that old one, because it's an old iPhone that I turned in for a newer iPhone. So I clicked on it,
You
Don't
can
click on-
delete it from the Find My.
erase this device, remove this
Yeah.
device.
If you remove the device, it will no longer be part of your Find My.
Okay, remove from account,
right.
right? Okay,
Yes,
I just did that, or tried to. I don't know if it happened.
I just did it with this. I had a 6 Plus listed and I haven't owned that for quite a while. And I removed it from my account.
Okay, and then it says enter Apple iPad, your password for your
It will
iPad.
only let you do that if you know your Apple password.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I hope I know it. Hope I can find it.
It's on your right arm. It's tattooed over there, Anne. All right. All right. Let's continue here. Let me a little
Bill?
review does not hurt.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes,
I wanted to ask you something. It says my location, and then underneath in blue, use this iPad as my location. And underneath also share my location. Should I do that?
say that again.
It says under my location, there is a blue line. It says use this iPad as my location. And another
Yeah.
one, share my location.
What you can do is you can say, that's the one I want, that's the one I want to have with me most of the time. So
Well,
I would
I
do
have-
it with the iPhone, not the iPad.
Okay, because I have several iPads, that's why.
Okay,
So don't click it then.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. A little review here. I'm going to navigation. And if you just watch the screen a little bit, we'll go through all them on. Go to home screen. How do you do that when you don't have the home button? You put your finger there, you pull it up, and you get to the home screen. And one more time, put your finger at the bottom, stripe, and pull up. Switch between apps. Watch the screen. You put your finger there, you scroll up a little bit and stop. That would be your finger down here. I pull up a little bit and stop, and there's the different apps that I have open. Open the control center. Put your finger in the top right and pull down. Top right is up here, and you pull down. There's the control center. See more controls. If you tap on one, like the brightness. So I'm going to do that. You pull it down, and I tap on brightness here. And then I can adjust the brightness. I can go to night shift, true tone, or dark mode. So now I've just changed my device to dark mode. If I want to get it out of dark mode, I would press and hold there and hit dark mode again, and it comes back to normal. See your notification center. Put your finger at the top of the middle of the screen and pull down to get your notification. Silence calls and notifications. You go to the control center and you tap the phone or the bell there. Ooh, a cool one. Take a screenshot. It's the volume up and the power button concurrently. Is that right? Get the user's guide? Can I get a user's guide on this thing? And it says I tap up here, and I think I scroll down to the bottom where it says user's guide. So while I'm in tips, the tips app, if I scroll up, I can get an iPad user's guide. And I clicked on it, and here it is, and here's the table of contents. And if I want any particular directions, like if I want to go to basics or personalize your iPad, let's go to that one, see what it's like. Change or turn off sounds, customize your lock screen, your wallpaper. Wow. Change the name. This is one we did, right? Change the name on your iPad. I click on that. It says go to settings, general, about, name, tap the X and enter the name, then tap done. We did personalize your iPad a little bit, but you can do it even more. Now, I want to do some definitions here. That's my lock screen. If I scroll up, that's my home screen. Did you notice the different wallpaper there? Right? That's a picture of my pet alligator out back. And I have a solid blue background here. So I'm going to go to my wallpaper, my lock screen, right? And if you have to unlock, go ahead. Mine's unlocked right now. And if I press and hold it, it comes up to various other home screens that I have. Now, I need you to be with me here. So is everybody at least to this point?
No.
I'm not either, Bill. I swiped something and I've got a camera on it and I can't get rid of it.
Let's go back, turn off your device, turn it back on, and you should get your lock screen to come up and it should unlock.
How
Or
do
you
you
enter your,
get to your lock screen?
say again,
How do you get to your lock screen?
turn it off, turn it back on.
That worked, thank you.
Now, if you can't get to it that way, you get to it, go to settings. Okay. And I'm going to pick this one. It says customize. Now, let me not do that. I'm going to add new. Okay. You should get a screen that looks like that. It says photos, people, photo shuffle across the top. Okay. Again, if you go to settings, wallpaper, everybody can do that. And you shift from right to left until it says new, and then you hit the plus sign. Now, others of you might have and you press this screen and you go over to where it says plus, and it comes up with the same thing. So hopefully we're all looking, it says photos, people, photo shuffle live. It says all those things for you to be able to set your lock screen. I'm going to select weather. And it comes up like that. And I think if it's a sunny day, it'll look like that. And if it's not a sunny day, it'll look like something different. At this point, it says 11:24. If I put my finger on 11:24, I can change the font. I can change the size of it. Well, the width of the text. And I can change it to different color. At the same time, we had widgets last week. I could add a widget over here on the left. And I could add, I've got the time. I'm going to add the calendar one there, right? I'm going to scroll down and add NVIDIA there. So I could add multiple widgets on this screen and then tap add. At this point, I could have the same picture on both or the same wallpaper on by both my home screen and my lock screen. And I could say set it as a pair so that they both are the same. Okay, so now hopefully that's the one I have. Yep. And if I go to my home screen, I have the same background. Okay, now I'd like you all to play with that. I'd like you to go to settings. When you get to the settings menu, scroll down to where it says wallpaper. And then click where it says add new wallpaper. And then pick one of those things and see what you can do with it. I'll be right back.
Bill, Paul has had his hand up for a while, and then I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, Paul has his hand up, but I'll go ahead. Where did you find weather? How did you find weather as a screensaver?
I was on wallpaper. I clicked add a new wallpaper. And right at the top, it says weather.
Oh, okay, fine, all right. How do you get the top, or is that just? I don't have those things on top.
You went to settings, and then you click wallpaper. Is that correct?
Uh-huh,
And then you clicked add new wallpaper.
okay.
And you should have this menu that shows up.
Okay. All right, I'll look further.
And it may be the operating system is not at the same level mine's at. And I'm going to click this time, I'm going to click live photo. And I'm going to pick the one of my wife there at the right. And I'm going to click add that. And I'm going to customize the home screens because I don't want it on both. I'm just going to make the home screen a color. Oh, give me some color, add a color. We'll make it a blue. And done. Okay, so now that's my wallpaper. Now that's going to be a that's going to be um, a real,
That's nice.
okay. Any questions about that? All right. A simple one for most of us is adjust the text size on our device.
Bill, I'd like to hear about that. When I do WordPad, I always have to go back and change it to a larger text. So would that be included in this?
No, when you do WordPad, is that on your computer or you're talking about
Computer, on my computer.
oh. Oh.
I'd like to
Uh,
lock it permanently at a certain number, and it doesn't happen. But,
I don't use WordPad. I use Word.
oh,
I can look into that for next week.
okay, I used to use Word. I don't know how I got screwed up. Thank you.
Okay. The way you change it on your iPad is you go, there's many different places, but settings, accessibility, display, and text size is one play. I think you can go to settings, display and brightness, and scroll down in display and brightness to where it says text size. Tap that, and you can adjust the size of the text on your screen. Make it too small, you can't read it. Make it too big, and it's hard to page through things. So you have to reach a happy medium there
Thank
for
you. I'll
yourself.
try that.
You go to settings, display and brightness, and text size. You've got choose sounds, right? Now we've covered that before, but I want to show you a little bit something a little more advanced there. If I go to settings and sounds and haptics, I'm sorry, it's just sounds on your iPad, I think. Where's sounds? There they are, sounds. And it says my ringtone is waves or my text tone is Aurora. And I can set that up so that I get that sound when I get a text message. But if I want to be very specific and get a special sound when my wife sends me a text message, I can go into settings, I can go into contacts and change the sound for when she sends me a text message. So to do that, you would go into your contacts, not settings this time. And I would find the person that I want to I'll find my wife here. And I tap edit. So there's my wife's contact information. I tap edit and I scroll down here to where it says text sound. Right? And her sound is that one. Now I could make it bamboo, but I can't hear that one. Chimes is pretty good. Can't hear that one very well either. That one's good. So I checked Calypso. And that's whenever she sends me something, it'll make a different sound than when everybody else does. And I can do the same thing with a ring sound. So when she calls and I answer on my iPad, the sound on my iPad would be that one.
So how did you change the Calypso?
Ooh, pardon me?
How did you change the Calypso? If it's already there, do you just go to the little arrow and then go from there?
Yeah, I went to the arrow
Mhm.
and it was one of the classic ones. They have the normal sounds there, the most recent ones.
Uh-huh.
And if I scroll down, it says classic. And those are the ones that came out with the original iPads and iPhones. And Calypso is one of those.
Okay, thank you.
I think I always tell this joke. Uh, it doesn't have it there. Let me go to,
I have all of these sounds chosen for various things, but they don't play, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
they should play. You can test them by just tapping on it. So if I wanted to try one of these, I tap on it. It should make the sound.
Make
And if
sure
it
your
doesn't,
volume is up.
your volume may be down or up.
On my
that what
device
you said?
itself, or do you set a separate volume for the sounds?
No. You don't set a separate volume for the sound being made.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Okay.
You started to say you had a joke about something and I hurried back and I don't hear it now. It's okay. It'll-
Now I'm looking at tips again, and you see where it says beyond basics, and there's a bunch more there. Now I want to switch gears and couple of special ones that I don't want to miss. I could come back here, but understand where these are. Spend a little time yourself. And don't do this one. right? Don't do accessibility guided access. Do not. The Apple came up with this thing for your Apple iPad or the phone, I believe, that allows you to say you can only access this app. And it was designed so you could give your iPad to your grandchild or child or grandchild or great grandchild, and they would only be able to use the game that they were playing. They couldn't go on the internet, they can't do anything else. Well, I tried it last night, and my iPad locked up on that particular game. I could not turn it off. I, I was able to power it down. I powered it back up, and it was still locked on that game only. I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And I finally had to go to the internet and get some very special instructions on how to get out of it. So unless you have that situation, don't do it. Okay? And it's called guided access. For a minute there, I thought it said, Siri, water my planets when I get home. It says, Siri, remind me to water my plants when I get home. Okay? So there's a bunch of Siri commands you can try. A lot of different features there. One of the apps I wanted to show you today was Translate. And it's the Apple Translate application. And it's the one with the black background. And I just want to show you how it works. Oftentimes we find somebody or we're working with somebody who is having trouble with the English language. At the shop, when I'm refurbing computers, we get a lot of Spanish speaking folks that show up, and they're having a tough time with English. This is a wonderful app to have available, and I'll show you how it works. Right now, mine is set for English and Spanish. If I tap the microphone and I say, what time is it? It will produce the text for what time is it in English and also produce it in Spanish, and I can use the microphone to play it. So I'm just going to tap the microphone. What time is it? Oops.
¿Qué hora es?
Okay. Apparently that's what the time is in Spanish. If I change the language to French, now let's change it to German. And I say, oops, I want to go up here. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Make this one English. Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
Is that correct, Bearbell?
Very good. Yes.
And if I say,
What if you say something translated into Chinese or
you can do Korean.
okay,
Let's change it to Korean. Hello. Oh, it's not going to speak it to me though, huh? Let me try it again. Good afternoon. Yeah, it doesn't, oh, wait a minute.
좋은 오후네요.
Okay. So it's relatively good, and at least you can have find out what you need to know, if you will, or the person you're working with can find out what they need to know using the Translate app.
Bill, can you dictate a letter and have it printed out in German? Dictate in English and have it printed out in German.
I did that with something. Let me try something here. Oh, let's try something. I'm going to do it in, we're going to change it to German here, and I'm going to tap the English. Good morning. What time are you going to be coming to my house today? So there's that entire expression.
Wie viel Uhr kommst du heute zu mir nach Hause?
Thank you. And if I press and hold that, I can copy that text. I can copy it and paste it somewhere else. Okay. So the answer to your question is, yeah, you could probably do it. It may be a little cumbersome here. Okay. There's a way to do it in Microsoft Word too, where you can actually translate the whole thing.
Is Google Translate a free app?
Yeah.
This is Apple
Yes.
Translate.
Oh, this is Apple, so I downloaded the wrong one. Okay, thank you.
Bill, how do you get
it's-
to translate? I lost you somewhere. How do you get to
Here's-
translate?
Here's the Translate app,
Oh,
the one I'm pointing at right now. Let me point at it with my mouse.
yes.
The one in black. So if you go to the App Store, and you type in Translate, you'll get a bunch. Translate. Oops. I should have typed. Well, what's wrong with you? Never mind.
No, I think we got it with one of the updates, because it's on my phone. So I think
And
it
I
got
tap
down with one of the updates.
Translate. There are several. The one that's black is the one that I've used. There's Google Translate.
Bill, I think it's on our phone.
You have that. There's iTranslate. All these came out, and then Apple has come out with theirs as well. Now it's not that well rated, and I don't understand why, but the Google Translate is rated better. Who has that one, and is that one free?
I've
Anybody?
used it, it's free.
Yes,
Okay.
I've used it, but it's not, I don't know that any of them are really that perfect. It gets you what you need, but for correct grammar, it's not necessarily as precise as some people want to be.
Right. And if it gets me what for me, if it gets me to the right bus stop, I'll be happy.
That it would do.
And
Yeah,
it's wonderful when you encounter a foreign person and they don't understand you. You can say it to the phone and show it to them.
And they also understand it's not perfect, so. Okay,
Bill, can I ask you a question before we run out of time?
sure.
Somehow I've lost my little circle that you hit on instead of using your home button on my iPad. It disappeared. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that one. I don't know how I lost it. How do I get it back?
Go to settings,
Yeah,
accessibility,
accessibility. Okay.
and it says
Touch.
touch. I
Oh, okay.
think touch. And the first one, assistive touch, turn that on.
Thank you.
And then there's a whole bunch of things you can organize there. And what you want to, if you press and hold it, what's going to show up. If you
Oh, okay.
tap it once, twice, if you long press it, does different things.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I just downloaded Translator, the one that you showed us, and it said processing payment. So that tells me it's not free.
It came,
didn't
it's
say
in
what-
my devices. It didn't cost me anything. It's
Didn't
even
cost
on
me
my
anything.
old iPad.
Hmm. Why
Did it say a price when you downloaded it?
No, it did not.
Okay.
The one you're showing, I think I'm just gonna pass on it.
Which comes to a lot of these are subscription.
Uh-huh.
So it says, $1 a month or $12 a month or whatever.
Mhm.
Apple another tip is you go to settings and you tap your name at the top of settings, it says subscriptions there. So if this was an app that was going to be a subscription service, it would show up under subscriptions there. And if I tap it, you'll see that I have several. I have Apple TV Plus and Paramount TV Plus, right? I think $99 is a year, I hope. Yes, okay. And Paramount is $11 a month, right? I had an app called Calm, and it was a subscription. Track My Flight Now, they want to charge a subscription on, so I don't have it anymore. I could bundle my Apple TV Music Arcade into one thing, so I could be using Apple Music. Okay, but those are the only two I have. If you have 3 or 4 there, the nice thing about this is you can tap the arrow and unsubscribe or cancel the subscription.
Good touch.
Last but not least, there is a nice feature on your device. If you go to Photos, and you go to your photos, right? We're just going to go to Photos, and we're going to have a library, and we're going to come up with some pictures here. Come on. We'll go to recents. And I've got somebody's puppy here, right? If you press and hold the screen, you see the little flash that occurs when I do that? Press and hold it, little flash appears.
Where's
And
the
it
flash?
outlines the picture. Let me do it again. You don't see the flash, but I'm
No.
pressing and holding an object in the picture.
Hmm.
Let me come down here. Wonder what's to do with that butterfly. won't do the butterfly. Oh dear. Here we go, Mickey Mouse here. Won't do Mickey. Oh, there it did it. So I have Mickey Mouse. And it says copy. So I could copy that and paste it. It says add sticker. Now you may not know what a sticker is, but go ahead and tap add sticker.
I have
And it comes up
copy,
with this,
copy,
and it
share,
comes,
copy, share, favorite, duplicate, hide, and add to album. What happened to add sticker?
your operating system is not the same as mine.
Okay,
This is, I think it's a new feature they've added.
Where does it say add this figure?
Say again?
Where does it say add this picture or whatever it is? I don't see
Just
any.
tap add sticker and then I'll get to where you can use stickers. So stickers is like a little folder that contains all the things you want to make stickers of. And if I show you on my phone, well, I can't very quickly here. Hold on. There's the stickers I've made so far, right? And there you'll see the one of Mickey Mouse. Okay, so far so good. So I just added it to this folder that has those other things in it.
How did you get there?
Say again?
How did you get there? I lost you.
You have to have the capability when you touch the image, it kind of makes a flash and add sticker comes up at the top. Let me show it to you. If I press and hold, see the little flash?
Yes.
And it comes up and says add sticker. Now I've already done that, so I don't want to add it again. But if I go back to other photos, let me go to a different one. I'll pick my grandson here and I'll get him and add him to a sticker. And now I got his picture in a sticker. Now, what you're saying, why in the world would I want to do this? How do I use it? Well, if I go to messages and I start a new message, okay, and I'm going to send it to my wife. And now down here at the bottom, it says add message. It says message down here at the bottom. See it? And if I tap the plus sign, it says stickers. I can tap stickers and there's my list. And if I want to put Mickey Mouse in there, now I have Mickey Mouse added to the message. Okay. Now you're more likely, I'm going to say add sticker and tap my grandson, right? And send that. Okay.
He's handsome.
All right. Okay, this next portion is a little off color, but hopefully you'll appreciate it. You can find it here. Hold on. Ah, yes.
There's still a raised hand, Bill. I'm not sure.
Okay, I can't see it, so go ahead.
All
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Paul Carter raised his hand. Yes,
Yeah.
no? Okay. Little off color, but you may like this one. The title of this is I Am Not. The wife says to the husband, honey, can you please help me cleaning the garden? Husband says, do I look like a gardener? Oh, sorry, honey. Could you fix the bathroom door? Husband, do I look like a carpenter? Husband walks out. When he returns, he finds the garden cleaned and the door fixed. Husband says, I know my wife will do this all by herself. I know she did this all by herself. She says, wife says, no, it's not me. Husband, then who? Our neighbor. You paid how much to have her neighbor do this stuff? No, he gave me two options. Bread or sex. Husband, I hope you made him some bread. She says, do I look like a baker? All right.
That's good.
That's not too bad, right?
Cute.
Let me stop sharing. We're going to do a very similar thing next week, folks. We may cover some of the same stuff, but it's going to be for the iPhone. So we'll be covering many of the tips that we covered today, but we'll be talking about the iPhone. Okay?
Thank you for that, Bill.
A lot of great information. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll be posting the video of it. All right?
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank
Great
you.
class.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Bill.
much.
Thank you, Bill. Have a great Memorial Day.
Yes, have a nice barbecue or whatever. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.